Hi, everyone, and welcome to Module 8. We are really getting into the home stretch now. And so during Module 8, you will notice that we are going to be concentrating on one thing, that peer review. So you should be familiar with the peer review process, but we're going to approach it a little bit differently this time. So why don't you go ahead and click on the content link on the menu bar and then scroll down until we get to Module 8, Revising Your Writing. So we'll start with the module overview. Go ahead and click on that link, and that'll give you an introduction to what we're going to be doing in Module 8. It says that you're going to be engaging in your second peer review. This is really the bulk of Module 8, but also notice that you're going to do some work in the Hawks section once again. And that should pretty much wrap up Hawks. I believe this is our last Hawks module. You can go back and make up any of the Hawks assignments that you've missed. So, just really take this time to check over your Hawks work, make sure everything's in place before the end of the course. Go ahead and click on the next button. And we will see module activities. There is a proofreading video to watch and some things to review on proofreading. And this will help you to get started on what to look for when you're reviewing your peers' work. So go ahead and click the next button. And here's that Hawks link that I mentioned. This should take you directly to your Hawks course where you can finish up that Hawks work or make up anything that you've missed. Click on the next button. And that'll take you to our Module 8 discussion, Peer Review 2. So there's a few things that I want to point out about this discussion. What you're going to go ahead and do is choose another one of your milestones that you might want additional feedback on to assist in revisions. So remember, you can post revisions for any of these milestones to get a higher grade, and you'll be posting your revised milestones in our final project also. So some things that I'd like to point out here. I want you to go ahead and click on the link that says Peer Review Memo. So let's take a look at that peer review memo together, because this is a bit different than what we did for the last peer review. So when you click on that peer review memo, you'll notice that it's asking you to engage in a dialogue with your peer and to read your essay out loud to your partner. So obviously, we're not going to do that in this class. This was this portion of the assignment document was designed more specifically for students that are actually in a physical class or doing things over Zoom. So we're going to sort of adapt this memo to our own online purposes for our asynchronous work. So instead of telling them what they do well and what they need to work on, verbally aloud with your partner, these are some things that you're going to be thinking about as you write the peer review memo and review their milestone. So if you scroll down to the second page, you're going to see that we're going to be writing a memo or a letter to the peer that you're reviewing. So you'll notice that you're going to use this as a template, and you're going to be filling this template out as you review their milestone. So some of the things you'll be taking a look at here are, name the milestone that they've selected. I enjoyed reading through milestone 3, for example, about, the topic that they wrote on. So just, make sure you have all these details put in there. You'll notice you'll be commenting on something you've enjoyed, the strengths, that could be organization and the details. And if it's a more creative piece, maybe you're going to talk about the descriptive details or the images they created. And then there's a space for you to comment on room for growth. What else could they do, to grow this essay, to take this essay to the next level? And then some helpful advice that you could give to your partner. And, could you maybe meet with the writing specialist to go over some things? There are different things you might comment about, just what stood out to you and what you think that they could improve upon for next time. And then, of course, giving a thank you and signing your name. So we're writing this like a letter. So I want to also then draw your attention to the sample of this, the peer review memo sample. Go ahead and click on peer review memo example. And that is going to pull up what this will look like when it's completed. So notice in this top part again, it suggests some things that you could possibly give a peer review on. So for example, you might talk about whether or not the author is identifying their subject, whether or not they're using all five senses, whether or not they're supporting their claims and evidence, right? So the five senses, that's going to go with the more creative milestones that we did. But this information on supporting claims with evidence and analysis, that would be more geared towards the definition and the research essay that we did. So depending on which milestone you're reviewing, you're going to think about these points a little bit differently. And then the tips for writing the peer review memo are some things that we've gone over just a few moments ago as you were going to craft the letter. It indicates, that you might tell them what they do well, what they need to work on, strengths, areas for growth, and so far, those types of things. So then scroll down here to page 2, and you can see a sample of this at work. Now notice that in the sample, there's both the template is filled out, but then also they've had some additional comments on the side. So you can insert some comments directly onto the document if you think that that would be helpful for them as they think about revising their milestone. So go ahead and follow along with this sample as you craft this assignment to turn in to me and to post, on the peer review discussion board. So that pretty much wraps up what we're going to be doing in Module 8. And if you have any questions, feel free to reach out to me. And I look forward, as always, to our week together.